Good evening, everybody, and welcome to nope, wrong. Where? There it is. There it is. It's January 29th. Welcome to another episode of Rise Up Market Watch. Here I am once again tonight with Doug. Doug, how you doing?
I'm great. Feeling good. Feeling good.
Oh,
It's Thursday night. It's nice. It's like it's better than Monday because it's like the week's basically over. So I'm feeling good.
Well, dude, you told me in the backstage before we kicked this thing off that you are in tuned with this market like no other, and you're feeling great trading and riding these waves.
So I'm actually not trading a lot because I'm such in the vibe coding building mode, but I am absolutely 100% in sync with the markets. I feel I am kind of like I was October 2023, where it's kind of just like you just get that kind of flow that's there.
Dude, I've been getting that 2023 feeling in this market also. 2026 feels like 2023, and 2023 was my single best trading year.
Same.
I've ever had.
That was all the things happened, changed with me, but that was also the time when. So it's why I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming. Not right now, but
not right now.
Yeah, not right now.
But hey, guess what? In the beginning of 2023, I feel like we should add some historical context to this because 2023, for those of you who weren't around or weren't paying attention or don't look at the charts every single day like us do, and you can't think about what the chart looks like then, Bitcoin was still sliding down and was consolidating for a long period of time. And in that just sideways consolidation, you had a few altcoins really start to do well. And then, oh, Doug, we lost you.
I'm back. I'll go back. Just go.
Okay. But in that consolidation, you had a few coins pop off. And then at the end of 2023, you started to have Bitcoin start to go upwards. And you really started to have like some altcoins do amazing. That's where Render started to make a name for itself. Injective started to make a name for itself. You had Solana start to really pop off. And that was an exciting time. So it feels like we're in the beginning of 2023 when things are still hurting. But like the end is near being like a few months. Right, you gotta give it a little bit, and then like the bull market can come back. For me personally, I still think, particularly with what we saw in Bitcoin today, where Bitcoin fell from basically $89,000 to $83,000, I still think that's Bitcoin closer to like $68,000, $70,000, $64,000. You know, that can totally happen. But no matter where it happens, once you start to see some bullishness on the chart, you know, you got to start changing up your strategy a bit.
I think we're at the mercy of stocks. When I say we, like crypto's already, it needs life somewhere else to exist. Otherwise, I don't know.
Well, dude, the life has been in precious metals.
Oh, without a doubt. And following those markets, like I even like with gold, initially, like I think it was yesterday. I was talking about it. Like everyone's like, "Oh, what do you think? What's going to hold the gold?" I'm like, I have no idea. If I'm being honest, I could treat it like a token from alt season from 2021, where it's like it's gonna go to 20,000 from here, or it's gonna nuke to 2K. Like I have no idea. There's no context. It's in price discovery, and of course today we had a nice little sell off, but it's bullish. Besides that, also very interested in many of the metals right now.
Dude, I was talking about this because I had a call with Alex where I was like, dude, gold feels so toppy based on how everyone's talking about it. Like, also just, I mean, look at this. Look at this chart. Just look at this. It's going straight up. It's going straight up. Tell me that this is a chart that continues going, showing everybody on that camera so that the folks on TikTok, that doesn't keep going up like this. That's not what an asset does, you know?
I got you, Will.
So anyway, that's gold. And we just got a huge, gigantic doji candle at the top here. But I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. You don't even need to read the charts to feel like there's a top for gold, because the amount of gold bull posting, the amount of like ridiculous cringy videos of people like doing stupid stuff with actual physical gold, and it's just it's super top.
I haven't seen that. So that's good to know, because I don't see that part of the social.
Oh no, dude, it's just like people decked out in like gold. And, like, gold. Yeah, it's I'm starting to see it. Here it is. It's the top. Ponky, how you doing, man? How you doing? I did see a comment on TikTok that said, "Hey, with precious metals, with everyone diving into them, I don't see how we recover. We being in crypto, guys. Just remember, money and attention moves all over the place, and money and attention always comes back to the asset market that you're in. Just remember, do you buy something that has absolutely gone vertical like gold has? No, you go and you look for other things. If you love gold, you wait for a cool off, right? Then you get the gold that you want, right? But you don't buy something that's vertical. You buy something that has super strong fundamentals still. Gold, I mean, Bitcoin still has very strong fundamentals, but is selling off and is showing weakness. That's Bitcoin right now. It's time to really be paying attention. Hopefully you'd already purchased precious metals. I was not on that bandwagon, but hopefully you've already put yourself in a position to profit off of it. If you're not there right now, it's not going to be you right now, unless you're maybe shorting and doing short-term trades, right? You got to find the markets that are beat up, that have good fundamentals, because in the words of Jimmy Buffett, Warren Buffett, maybe Jimmy Buffett too, but Warren Buffett, price is a distraction from good fundamentals, and price always catches up.
Just not in crypto.
Just not most altcoins. Because they don't have good fundamentals. That's the key thing, though, is Doug. You have to have good key fundamentals.
And you have to care. People have to care about the fundamentals. So the part two, other factor. I saw a tweet earlier that, don't quote me on this, I think it was like $5 trillion of market cap was the couple hours, I think, of metals, or was it even just gold by itself? Regardless of what it was, crypto as a whole is like 2.8 trillion. So in hours, like crypto is basically just erased from that, if you're just for a sizing point of view. So to the person saying that when's crypto, how's it going to recover? Crypto's so small. It is still so small overall. So it's less challenges to get to that size. I mean, obviously it has challenges, but there's still opportunity. So just got to survive. That's it. Just survive, people.
Interesting comment here coming from TikTok also goes, well, I thought the government was going to use crypto to back the dollar. Now it looks like it's gold. So the government will never back the dollar with gold again. We used to when we first made the dollar. It was backed by gold, and then we got off the gold standard, forced everybody to turn in and sell their gold, and gave it to the government. So the smart people held on to their gold and buried it in their yards, most likely. But there's a very, very specific reason as to why the government will never back the dollar with gold, and that is because you cannot spend as much. You cannot borrow as much. You cannot spend the way the US government likes to spend if you are backed by a finite asset. Because in order to continue to raise money for an asset backed by gold, you need more gold. You can't just spin up a bunch of money to then feed the US financial, military, and economic empire, right? Financial being the financial system like Wall Street, economic empire being our economy, military empire, obviously military empire, right? A gold-backed dollar ends almost all of that. So gold will never back the dollar again. Also, the idea of crypto backing the dollar is also, that makes less sense simply because all cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, is still a risk-on asset. And also, once again, Bitcoin's an even more finite asset than gold. So you will never have a government back their dollar, their fiat, with a finite asset, because then they can't spend as much and your economy doesn't grow and there aren't as many jobs and there's not as much money going around and all those reasons, right? There are some benefits to having something like a gold back the dollar, but insofar as it goes to empire management, it's a terrible idea. But anyway, it's a really interesting and fun conversation that, you know, spans into a really fun what if scenario. But real quick, I want to get into just a few charts here. I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart, and I think my Bitcoin chart's a little messy at this current point in time, but let's just quickly touch on what Bitcoin did today. And this is the bear flag pattern that we've been in, this yellow chart here. We've been in this bear flag since November 19th, and we broke it a handful of days ago. And yesterday it looked like maybe Bitcoin would try to get back into this channel. And I made videos on this being like, hey, if this is real, if Bitcoin can end getting back into this channel, there could be a chance. But that day it got rejected. And when that happens, that was a retest that confirmed this as resistance. And because it was confirmed as resistance, we are starting to get the breakout target of our bear flag, of which, those of you who are curious and have not seen my videos, you take the pole of the flag, you put it at the breakout point, and it gives you a pretty damn low number, right around $63,000, $64,000. Now, does that mean that Bitcoin has to go to $63,000? No. There are areas of support higher up that could stop you, but they have to be very, very, very strong areas of support. But as of right now, we should still be playing the market as if Bitcoin is going down to 63,000, unless we get a surprise, bullish candle in a place that, we don't expect. But that's where we're at for Bitcoin. The last thing I'll show is on the monthly time frame.
Eek.
It's gross. The monthly chart for Bitcoin's really gross. And let me just clean this up a little bit so we just have
I haven't
less
looked at the
distractions.
monthly in a while. That'll be 4.
It's bad.
You ever
It's
had
1,
a
2,
4 red
3.
candles in a row? Go back.
Let's see. 3 here, 3 here, going back all the way to 2021. Here we go. Oh, the bear market of 2018. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red monthly candles in a row.
Great.
Yeah, it's good. That was the worst bear market that I've been in. That was my first one too. That's where I rode like an investment, I think of like $7,000 or $8,000, all I had at the time, up to like 113,000. And I was like, it's going up forever. And then it all crashed down to like $4,000.
That's where I sold all my Bitcoin before that even happened. Yeah, so that I remember.
Oh, brutal story. But what I wanted to highlight here is a general key rule of thumb should be one of the first things you learn when looking at technical analysis, is that if one of your key exponential moving averages break, and again, your key exponential moving averages should be the 12, 21, 55, and the 200. If you break one, like the candle closes and it's broken, you fall to the next one. And right now we have broken the 21-month exponential moving average, and the 55-month is, hey, guess where? $63,000, exactly where the breakout target of our bear flag is. So again, another good reason for us to all be eyeing $63,000 for Bitcoin. I would have cried, I think, talking about what I had wrote up and wrote down in the 2018 bear market. Says Grim 9369 over on Twitter, on TikTok. Yeah. No, it was tough, man. It was tough. That was the first market where I just like hodled a bag, and I got super lucky. I didn't buy Bitcoin at all, but I got super lucky because I had Engine Coin and I bought it at 2 cents. And in the next bull market, it got hot and got to over $2, and it saved my ass. I got real lucky, and that was all luck. Except I did research, and I was like, oh, Web3 gaming's fucking cool. I like this a lot. Yeah, alts are non-existent at 63K. Yep. Here's one thing that's interesting today is that as Bitcoin went down, like the 5% it went down today, a lot of altcoins were down like 3 or 4%. That was interesting to note. I think a lot of altcoins are just like already super beat up, but I had some people who were chatting with me on like Twitter comments and the like, being like, oh, altcoins, they can't go down much further. Sweetheart, baby, I'm here to tell you, they can certainly fall an extra 90% from where they are right now.
Always can fall.
Always. They can always go lower. That is why on my TikTok, one of my 3 pinned videos is a video that says cryptocurrencies are terrible long-term investments. I like Bitcoin, but the rest are all terrible long-term investments. However, to say that I am still dollar cost averaging every single day into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And as soon as Bitcoin breaks $70,000, if in fact it happens, that daily dollar cost average into those 3 doubles. That's what I'm doing. Doug, I know you're busy building the space, and I see a bunch of comments coming through. So I see questions like safe to hold profits in stablecoins during bear market, waiting on bull market. We'll talk about that in a second. Big money getting in was bad. I was tried to tell everyone that. You are certainly correct. Bitcoin often falls 70% in a bear market. Also correct. We'll touch on a few of those things. But Doug, I know you're busy building and vibe coding some things. I'm curious to hear you talk about that, but also I'm curious about the trading that you are doing. What are you looking at? What are you playing with? And just kind of what are you looking at in the market overall?
So, you want to know what I'm building? I don't know if I can say all that. Well, first and foremost, so the trading for me is few and far between. It's very minimal because I, 1, full-time job, and 2, this is the first time in a long time where there's a good opportunity to build things. The market's right. We got the vibe coding. We got easy ways to bring things to life, to kind of bring your MVP to life, whatever it may be, and then have someone take it to the next step. So for me, markets aren't going anywhere. So as of right now, I'm not actively trading, but you got to keep the skills sharp, right? You got to basically still be in sync with it. So I'm actively making calls and sharing folks what my thoughts are, just because once you kind of get in that rhythm, you kind of just see it. So I've been sharing ideas back and forth with my friends, family, and also too, and in the communities that we are in, obviously the Rise Up Circle community there. But to answer your question, I won't go into too much depth, but before the meme coin thing happened to me back in March 2024, I was just you know, in one Telegram, one Discord. I was just locked into reading charts. That was the best time I traded, where I wasn't even on Twitter really. And I was trying to find ways that I could like teach an AI to create a digital twin of myself to scan markets how I scan markets. So I'd create a game, like almost like a gamified thing back then with a company that doesn't exist anymore, to bring something to market for myself, to almost just like train an AI on the fly and so on and so forth. Anyway, that had to be stopped for 18 months because of the other things that came up. And now I'm back to that point with the vibe coding piece that I'm able to bring these like widgets, like let's call them ADHD widgets for someone who wants to learn how to chart, but without going through the methodical process of learning each of the components of, you know, EMA, support resistance, which by the way, you should learn all these things regardless. But for someone just to start wanting to scan markets and try to figure out where should I be looking, these are the tools that I'm trying to bring to market. So I'm excited to do that. And probably in a couple of weeks, I'll have the first version out. But yeah, it's a good time. So that's it. That's all I got. Won't give you too much more than that.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice. It was funny. As you were talking about that, I was getting alerts going off about entering another short in Hyperliquid. And
really?
yeah.
Well,
I think, yeah, I'm trying to connect to Drift right now though, also, because that would be kind of fun to do some live trading. Hang on a second. Why can't I? Yeah, can you pull up Hyperliquid and show the people what you see? Because I see we could see like an extra like 2% fall here.
Yeah, one of you on Bitcoin too. I want to show you really quick, just because it's like it's a. By the way, I love. So you had a channel, right? Your channel was there from a left or you know, a diagonal channel for the bear flag. You also could draw a range. I could argue there's a range on almost every single you know, alt for the most part, or crypto in general. And I put these markers here. So we have Thanksgiving over here after the first kind of breakdown. This right before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I just want to state my short is officially open on Hyperliquid at $21.71. Happy to close it out at $28.87. I'm using 10x leverage.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. We got Christmas, then we got New Year's here, just to get some perspective. So these, I'm considering these deviations from this range, the range that I'm drawing here, which is between 83K and 93K roughly. So like a $10,000 range. So right now where Bitcoin is 83.7. This area over here on the left, these lows have not been challenged yet. I have a friend in one of my Telegram who literally tweeted like, he's like, this is the bottom. And it was like right at this day, just for more fun, right? So we're just joking, like obviously his that position that he did take a long is going to be stopped out. He's already taken profits, but there are many folks who have potentially round trip this entire move. So right now, this area is interesting to me because if there is another move down, which we anticipate, as you went over before, to see how the market reacts once these lows are taken out at 80,000. If there is a breakdown like this in this green pocket, and then it pops back up, this is where I'd look for a opportunity for a short-term long, which you'd be targeting mid-range and then high range here, and that's it. So this is more of the how you would trade a range if we do end up continuing, you know, making that reversal here. Otherwise, if stocks continue to be heavy, I think the scenario you played out, Will, is going to be more probable, which is just continue lower.
Do you see at any point, because I see some people, like, to me, it's just grasping onto the hope of like, well, people are making money in precious metals, so it'll rotate. It's going to rotate into crypto. It's like, no. Typically when the money lands in a market, it stays in a market, and it takes time for that liquidity to move around. It's not like a quick, fast thing.
But the charts look horrible. Like if I could make that argument if it was like, hey, if Bitcoin was heating up and like crypto was like the alts were just like, they were starting to line up. We have a nice bunch of daily candles, weekly candles, but monthly candles, they look like garbage. So if anything, it maybe can start contributing towards a early reversal that may take weeks, if not months, to completely, you know, play out. There's no, crypto to me is the most boring thing I've read. Sucks. I'm sorry, but there's still opportunities. Still opportunities, but it's just not, you know, there's no rush.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions coming through on TikTok, and one of them that was a little while ago, which was, "Hey, new all-time high for Bitcoin 2029." What do you think? That's I don't even remember what year it is right now. Yeah, it's 3 years from now. Do you think it's a full-on bear market? Another 3 years until we have a new all-time high for Bitcoin, or do you think it's something shorter, something longer? What's your gut?
Dude, I don't even try to project out now more than like freaking a month.
I know,
That's
right?
Crazy. I can't. 2029. We're gonna make it there. Like, I don't know. Let's get.
Are we gonna make it there?
By the way, so hype really quick. Sorry, so I don't have a projection. A lot higher than where we are today. That's all I got for you. So Hyperliquid. Why did this move today? Do you know? I've no. What's this move?
I don't know. Well, that was over the past few days. I think it was just.
Oh, sorry.
I think it was just whenever you have a market that's red, there's always a handful of coins, and people were asking about Rose because Rose was up like 100% on the week also. But you have a handful of coins when they start to do well. You have like a lot of people dive into it because you have like a bunch of drowning people who are grasping for a life raft. And that is just kind of what happens with some coins. And the thing is with Hyperliquid is that you have like a really strong amount of usage still there. And, it's just like that's a much easier coin to pop off because it has a very strong revenue buyback policy. Why Rose specifically popped off, couldn't tell you outside of the fact that in every single bear market, whenever there's a recovery, there's always a handful of coins that do really well for a short period of time.
This looks pretty. I mean, if crypto was going to bounce here, I think Hyperliquid would actually move pretty much higher right now. But I don't think crypto is going to hold. So
no, I see Hyperliquid going down and testing 2862 again, which is like that top neckline.
That's like this exact level here, right? 28.
Yeah,
2840.
If you zoom out.
No, you're saying zoom out. Oh, out here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like the very short term. Yeah, see, it's going to come right back to that neckline.
Yeah.
For those of you on TikTok.
Oh.
What I'm talking about is the neckline right here. So I had a massive explosion upwards, and then typically you come back down and you retest the neckline right here.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Can we look at copper? Can we look at some of the good ones? What do you want to? What direction you want to go here?
You can go take a look at copper, but I do have this question here on YouTube from Magic, which was, have you guys looked into X stocks on Sol? Bought a small bag of Circle at $67. Funny enough, you are reminding me, Magic, I'd sent money over to Kraken actually to buy Circle stock and totally forgot about it. So I need to go do that.
Circle is definitely a spot where, and I actually been looking at stocks lately too, because I figured I've been looking at copper ETFs. I'm following like 10 copper ETFs just all over the place, just finding the things that are moving. But right now, like Circle is at the point of where I would say a good time to consider. I still think it may break out.
It might break out of that. It looks like it's going to break down.
I think it's still going to take these lows though. I still has not. It's like right there. I just think it may just drop down like this, and then so to me the play is here. The long is basically once there's a reclaim of like $69. I think that
if it hits 60 or if it hits 50, that's such a key psychological number. Buy. That's a buy for Circle. 100%.
That's
a buy for Circle. And since we're talking about stocks, just know that, what's the number? I have to look it up. But Circle's revenue year over year grew by like $600 million. Like, yeah, I want to buy that stock.
No one cares.
Year over year, $600 million. I want to buy that stock.
We're in the wrong markets, dude.
I know we're in the wrong. We've been in the wrong. However, at the same time, I did make 41% today on a single position. So,
nice job.
I mean, crypto's, if you're trading, crypto's wonderful all the time, always.
It's just that dream you had back in 2021 where it's just like, I just buy and hold. It's just going to go. Chainlink's going to go to 1,000. This is so easy. This is easy. No.
Yeah, crypto's not like that no more.
No.
It really became less fun once the suits got in.
This is true.
Once the suits got in, and then like crypto got tied to the president, it became so much less fun. It was so much better when just like your Twitter feed was full of like random pictures and you'd hop into a Twitter space and it'd be a bunch of people with goblin PFPs just screaming at each other for like 4 hours straight. That was the best time. And then you had like DeFi summer blowing off with all this NFT degeneracy,
They're just good stories. I mean, hold on, I gotta show you this tweet. I forgot I showed you this. Hold on, check this tweet out. This is from way back. This was on the night that here we go. Where's my right here?
Oh, we have a Take It Easy on TikTok saying, I bought Circle heavy today at $68. I think that's going to be a good hold. I think it'll go down a little bit more, but I think it's going to be a good buy. I think you're going to be very happy with that as the years go by.
Here's my tweet from way back.
Please don't rug crypto. January 17th, 2025.
So this was the night that the token launched, the token. And I think I told you the story. I was screen recording
the token?
The Trump token, not the token. By the way, I've been following many the tokens. There have been 3 memes that are the token. No, the Trump token. I was screen recording it. I was screen recording it for 25 minutes. I thought it was a rug because I had no idea what was going on. Like, there's no way this is real. So me watching it, I think I can go back and check. It was below 100 million without a doubt. Like, that's when I started watching it, and then all up to, like, the crazy billions. It was just, yep, I'm recording this. This is not a rug. Nope, definitely didn't buy this. So
what's really interesting about the Trump coin and the Melania coin was hearing Luca Netz talk about it, because Luca Netz, he's the CEO of Igloo Company, which is the owner of Pudgy Penguins and Abstract and Pengu and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting listening to a meme coin founder talk about it, because to him it was like a singular, like 48-hour, like doomsday event, because it took all liquidity away from all meme coins, and it was like a day of death for all other meme coins that were in the space trying to exist, because all liquidity flooded into the Trump Melania ecosystem. And then it ended up being, what every single influencer meme coin, but to be fair, almost every single meme coin is just a pump and dump and then slams back down to zero. So, it did what it was perfectly designed to do, because, that's just what happens to those coins. But it's interesting seeing like meme coin founders being like, yeah, that was a day of death for us for 48 hours. And like a lot of meme coins didn't come back, and only the strong ones did.
Yep. And then we had Melania. Then you also had the Libra token. That was the other. That was it. That was like you ever seen what's the cycles? The picture with the big loops that get smaller and smaller and smaller. Like, that's basically how you look at it, where it's just extraction of memes.
Oh yeah,
memes died. But actually, meme volume right now is the highest it's ever been from a
meme
crazy.
Meme coins will always be hot.
Yep.
They will always be hot in every single cycle, just moving forward. It's just hard coded into our stupid monkey brains. But speaking of value extraction, I take it easy here has asked this question a few times, and I think it's a question that a lot of people are asking, and that happens every single time a bear market comes around. If some coins hit a break even, should people consider selling? I mean, the question is right now. Should the people start selling right now? Look, if you have a position that hits break even, we are in a market that has no strength confirmed yet on Bitcoin's chart. If you're in a position where you're at break even, I personally, myself, just speaking for me, I would sell. I'd be in stable coins. I'd either go and play in other markets. I'd go, hey, we have a lot of tokenized stocks, so you can play with stocks and precious metals within the DeFi ecosystem, cheaper fees, faster. Hey, it's great. It's wonderful. I was longing and shorting gold today and having a grand old time, right? And I personally was doing it on Drift protocol, and I tried to do it on DeFi Carrot, but there was a technical error at the time, so I went over to Drift. So that's what I would do. If I was at break even, I'd be out. And so if you are in the market just hoping to get break even, and you have a portfolio of all altcoins, I'm going to give you a hard truth, which is that your bag of altcoins can go down another 90%. Can totally happen in this market. It's happened to me. I've watched it happen to me. And I would, in every little pump up, just start taking some off the table, put them into stable coins, and then lick my wounds and try to reestablish myself and try to win my money back, right? By putting a strategy in place. That's what I would do personally. The other thing too is you have a lot of people just holding on to hope by seeing any pump, being like, okay, I'm going to leverage out of this market every pump I get. You get that pump and you go, well, maybe I won't sell because I'm going to get to break even, because you have another 50% to go or something, and that hope causes you to freeze, and then it rolls over, and then it rolls over, and then it rolls over, and now you're in an even bigger hole. So that's the thing, is in crypto bear markets, you can get in a hole that gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you're like, oh, I've hit bedrock, and then all of a sudden the bedrock explodes because there was TNT underneath it, and then you fall into the molten core of the earth.
It took
welcome to crypto.
It took me a long time to realize that you can always find an entry on any market.
Exactly.
So there's no, especially right now, there's Will point, there's no rush. Like, everything's sad right now. So I agree with, like, if you're especially if you're coming back up, if you're from, you were much lower, and it's now you're coming back up and like, hey, I'm break even. That's I think a good opportunity to get out, to just eat, or at a minimum de-risk, like cut your position in half. If you absolutely feel you need exposure, just get some out, because you can always add back. Markets aren't going to just explode out of nowhere. You're not gonna be able to get an entry. Like, we will let you know when those times comes, and we are not there. We are definitely not there.
I see a comment here. It's like, so go to Baccarat. That's a game at the casino table. It has the best odds the
Best
casino.
odds.
It's literally
Yep.
50-50.
Yep.
I also saw a question here because it's a charting opportunity, which is, so where would be a buy zone for Solana for you?
Don't look at the Sol 3-day chart. I was just looking at it. I was just like,
oh dude, yeah, the Solana charts. I mean, like Solana will be below $100. You and I have been talking about that for
months.
Like I think I've been saying it for
Half
maybe a
a
month
year?
and a half, 2 months or so.
I was longer than that.
Yeah.
We started
So
breaking down. It's like once October 10th hit, like that was it. It's like you don't. No.
yeah, let me just simplify it. Let me clean up this chart just a tiny bit for everybody here. Okay. And Doug, if I can get an assist.
Baccarat. I got you. I thought Baccarat was a perfume in the chat.
Oh no, not quite. But so here's Solana's chart on the monthly. And let me just move it over here a little bit more so people on TikTok can see a little bit better. Here we go. Here's the like scary thing, and I'm going to simplify this even more with Solana. This is a lot of empty space right here.
Yep.
And empty spaces get filled unless you like really have a lot of distance from it. And right now, Solana's price is really close. Solana's price really kind of wants to fall into this like $81 to like $50 range. And I know that sounds crazy to some of you, but it does. On the monthly chart, we are getting the 55-month exponential moving average popping up here at $106, $107. That is a likely area to get a bounce. In fact, you could see a bounce as high from 106 up to pretty much like $148. And that's a really sizable move. Like there's an opportunity here for a short-term trade. That's like 37%. There's a lot of money-making opportunity there. But guys, Solana's chart looks bad on the monthly time frame. And this space wants to get filled. And it could be a really rough next few months for Solana, to be very, very frank.
Hey, we get to buy it under $100.
But yeah, can you imagine,
dude, lower, like,
dude, buying or setting a long for Solana at like $50? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you have the opportunity to buy Solana at $30 again? Could you imagine?
So I'm very cautious. I will, in very rare instances, I will recommend in my personal life to say to friends and family to buy crypto. When Solana is below $80, $70, I will feel confident in recommending making that purchase and holding it for many, many years. That is the rare case in crypto when these scenarios come around. So
yeah,
but once we get there.
And what makes me feel super confident about it is like, oh, the stock market's being built on Ethereum. Swift's new network is being built on Ethereum. All of the stable coins, for the most part, that all these companies and like now Fidelity just released a stable coin. Guess what they built on Ethereum? Also, you have all these other companies who are using Solana too as well. You have some with Avalanche too. But I just go, yeah, I want to be invested and exposed to the infrastructure pieces that are taking our entire global financial system and putting it on chain. And yeah, it might be rough for the first few years, but like, this is to me, this is a heavily manipulated market that is manipulating the market to the point where all the big boys are able to buy in at much lower prices that they weren't able to get to before, and then they'll send it, right? If you believe that markets are heavily manipulated, because they are, and that evil people will always manipulate the market for their own self-gain, because they will, then you should believe that that's going to happen with crypto. And then one day they're all just going to open up the floodgate and crypto will go on an absolute tear. And everyone who first got into the space will be left behind. And all the people who are hoping to become rich and help themselves in the space will be left in the dirt. And the only people who will survive are the people who are still paying attention to the market, finding out what's actually being used, finding out what infrastructure is actually being adopted in a meaningful way. And hopefully that is all of you.
And if I'm being honest with that, I think right now I'm the most bullish for things. I'm seeing more things actually being built and people inquiring about things being built and like, oh, this is actually has a service, or there's some benefit of this to, the digital community or the physical community, whatever it may be. But starting to see those conversations again, haven't heard that in a very, very, very long time. As we're talking right now, it looks like markets are selling off. So
yeah, that's why my Hyperliquid short is up 9.5% right now.
Nice.
And I'll close it on stream if we get to our marker. In fact, actually, Doug, if you can take control right now. I'm just going to set a limit
I
for
got you.
my
I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
my short.
I'm gonna go. Let's look
Kind
at
of
some
fun to do
charts
a
here.
trade live.
I'll flip my while Will's doing that. I'll flip my screen here too.
Just like FOMO, is there also FOLO? Fear of missing out, fear of leaving out,
Net.
fear of losing out.
That's it. That's good. Just change your FOMO to pay attention. It took me a long time to do that. I've said this before.
Change
If
your
you feel
FOMO
FOMO, just to pay attention. Because you like almost like act like you're like, hey, I'm trying to find an entry now. I'm trying to find that perfect entry. Make it like a game. Make it like you're like a sniper in a way. Like you're trying to find that entry and waiting for that perfect time for it to happen. Actually, screw gold for the moment. I need to go to Bitcoin because I see this. Oh my goodness, we are.
Oh,
just trying to see if this taps into the lows here. Let's mark these levels really quick.
will Bitcoin reach 37K for sure? I don't think it's going to reach 37K, but I think, you could see it in the 50s. I think the 70s for sure will happen. I think the 60s are likely, and the 50s would be like max pain scenario. I don't think you see Bitcoin below 50,000.
I also agree. That sounds pretty. The only way you'd see that is some weird
support keeps dropping. Honestly, if we get into the 30Ks, we're near my average. I mean, we might hit my average Bitcoin price.
So we are. I had to call it another good thing to do for anyone who's new at charting, and I don't do it at all, and I should do it, is to mark levels like on yearly opens, monthly opens, closes, weekly levels, lows. So like right here, these are November lows. So this is the lows that were from November 21st, right before Thanksgiving, and we are moving pretty quickly towards those. So right now, for me, obviously we're on the stream here. I'm very curious to see what happens when we hit this level and how price reacts. Because just as the moment we fell over here, we've taken out the lows that are from December, the first week of December, and also two before Christmas. Actually, that was earlier today. We took those out. So we're moving right now and trying to look at the rest of the markets quickly. And also I'm trying to see if the futures look like they're on a little move. There's a lot of things going on. This is an interesting time for me as a chart enthusiast and a chart guy. I'm curious to see how.
Hey Doug, I'm gonna take control real quick just to have recording proof, just so people know I'm not a liar. Here's my hyperliquid short. It's up 13.75% right now and you know what? I'm happy with that. That's $1,000. So I'm just gonna hit market close here.
Lock it in.
Lock that in. Hang on a second. Closing position. Come on, Drift. You can do it. You can do it, Drift.
Drift has a lot of good options, by the way. I looked at that.
Drift has a lot of good options.
6 months ago, I think I was looking at it. Like just in general, because that was the time the perp dexes were, the thing. You got it?
Hang on a second. No, hang on a second. Let's just do this. So, yeah, confirm, close position. Come on, Drift. I would like my money. I mean, I'm now up 22%, but I'd really like to close this. There we go. Transaction confirmation timed out. What the hell? Hey, Drift, this isn't good marketing for you.
Sometimes the decentralized world's a little tricky. You just got to hit it a bunch of times.
I should just set a limit, I suppose.
The reason that's happening right now is because the market's moving. That's why sometimes it's hard to close, especially with the market.
Hold on a second. I'm going to refresh this so I can try to fucking close this. Okay, I would like to close my short, please.
It's set a limit if you can't do that after this. You're still good. This thing's not gonna. It looks like we're still hanging here, so I would just set a limit above.
There we go. There we
go. There it
is. Wait, what? Why does it say 0%? What has happened here? Share the P&L. Hey guys, I made a lot of money.
Yeah. Why did it do that?
Why did it do that?
There you go.
Hang on a second. Wait a second. Let's see. This was, oh yes. Okay, I made $783. That was supposed to be like a $1,600. God, I was up more. This is ridiculous.
This one limit orders are good too. I don't. What's the
I gotta set the limit orders. Here's the thing is though, the net value says, oh, this says unsettled. Settle. It was the extra $1,000. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, wait, so I started off this position today with $5,000 and I set a long on gold and made it. And I was like, and it was the first time I played around with 10x leverage. And I was just like, you know what? I'm I'm fairly good at this, but like I'd never really post much about it, just because like I don't want like I feel like those people are douchey.
I posting
I don't
P&L
fucking
cars.
really.
And by the way,
But
too,
you know what?
makeup cars.
What I think is always fun. I'll never post like any of my real positions, but I posted on Twitter a $5,000 position. I was like, hey, let's publicly trade this, and each time I make a trade, I'll post it on Twitter. And so I've made 3 trades today, and my $5,000 is now 8,300. So you can see my order hit positions here. Was a long on Pax G, which is gold. That let's see, does it have my winnings here? No, it doesn't. But let's see. It just made me like 100. Just made me like $100 or something, and then I had a short. Wait, short long. I'm having a hard. This is my first time reading this, so. Let's see. I don't like that. Balances.
Sometimes it does. I don't understand the balances. I've never seen that before. That's interesting to me.
Anyway, I started off with $5,000. I've won 3 trades today, and now it's 8,300. So the challenge I set for myself was how high or how quickly can I lose these $5,000 trading with Magic Green says position history. Oh, Magic, you are a godsend. Okay. You're a godsend. So here it is. Here's the position history. So had a long on gold, made me $773. Had a short on Hyperliquid earlier in the day, made me $1,800. And then my short just now, which was a trade. Honestly, I had that trade open for maybe 15 minutes and I made, $783. So I'll keep playing with this and we'll see by the end of February just how high or how low I can turn that position into.
All right.
Will we buy VeChain at half of a penny?
We're almost there. Almost there. Sorry, I want the lows to be taken
almost
out.
There.
We want this. We want this to happen.
Let's see. What is that? Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin. Really quick, I'm gonna peek at some others really quick. Total looks absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Like
Hang
this.
on.
Looks,
oh, you got it on your chart. Lovely.
Yeah. This looks. That looks. This looks like Soul. Like no, I don't even look at that chart. Total 3 doesn't look as bad. Oh, this one we'll look at. Stable coin dominance. This is the stable.c.d, which is the aggregation of both all of these stables. I think for the most part, we're at 11% right now. We were at 10% earlier today. This does look a little like funky. Like I also would look for that, but this looks super strong right now, and we don't want this to be strong. If you are in crypto, you want this to go down. This right now, it looks like it is at a level which is starting to escape here. Escape. We are coming right back up to this level. It's like 11.2. So if this thing continues up, starts trading above 11.2 here, I would expect continuation. And then this would be lights out for crypto if that happened, in my opinion. So right now it's a very interesting point because this is at resistance, but it's very strong. So we will see how that plays out in the next 24 or 48 hours here.
You want to take a look at some of the metal markets?
Absolutely.
Because like that's where the attention is. That's where the heat is. And honestly, metals are fun to trade right now. They're really fun.
They're such good looking charts. The one that's been for me has been copper, because gold and silver, you can entertain those if you want. Like they're their own animals that have done very big things already. I'm trying to make it easier for TikTok here to see this. Here we go. Okay, there we go. But copper to me is the most interesting. However, copper has a big area that I believe it still may come back down to. It would be pretty nasty. But I think you get copper below 570, 550 would be a great opportunity for a long down here. However, based on this move last night, we can almost just completely retraced it. I would expect this to bounce here and then continue up. So right now, I think it's a good entry for copper. If metals continue to have this run, and I would probably put palladium after that and nickel and platinum. There's good markets. They're just fun to watch. To your point, like they're fun to watch. They're moving.
And here's one thing I'll recommend to folk is because they're moving so volatile right now, you can actually make like really good, almost crypto-esque money playing with like your gold, silvers, and coppers because the swings on them are really, really, really aggressive right now. Also, if you want, and you want to use a little bit of leverage, I mean a little bit, and it like takes away the complexities, go to DeFi Carrot and use their Turbo Gold. So it will make leverage trading easier for you, and it only lets you have leverage as high as like 2.8%. So it's like way more forgiving and friendly, and you're not going to be liquidated as easily. I think it's a great place to start. And And yeah, also before we get too far away from Bitcoin, I saw a question from Excited Stoic says, any case for 75K bottom on Bitcoin? Hey, there can be a bottom for Bitcoin at any point, right? It's just a matter of, does the chart show strength? You know, are you overbought in all the indicators that we use? Do you get a bullish candle, right? If you get a God wick, right? Just like a massive wick upwards, like whatever that was most likely the bottom. If that happens to be $75,000, it's $75,000. If it happens to be 69,420, it's 69,420, right? We have an idea in our head as to where our target is for a low for Bitcoin at about $63,000, but it could be higher up, it could be lower down, right? TA is not perfect. You have to keep reading the chart and keep reading the tea leaves because things can change on a dime. But TA does help us to create a more educated guess. So that's all I wanted to say on that.
This is 1 minute.
What are we looking at here? Oh, Bitcoin perpetuals?
A Bitcoin 1 minute chart. Because like, so right now this just sold off. So this is, I used to watch these things, by the way, like at the lowest time frame, but then got really, really good at seeing them. But just understanding like these big like moves back up of these types of candles that come back up, you'll start noticing when there is a bottom, when this just becomes like one massive candle here. And then you start seeing like these are where opportunities you can longer up here. However, right now, zero rush because we're so close to this level. Like I would be shocked if this doesn't come down here at some point, and then we'll see the reaction. But anyway, I digress. What else do you want to peek at?
We took a look at copper. We also have a request to take a look at Banker by Magic, getting back into the crypto space. But before we do, let's take a look at nickel. And then I'd be curious to look at uranium, because I know uranium was starting to pop off too.
Uranium was so bullish. So nickel, I want this pullback. Been waiting for it. Like this is since this was last week. Want this pullback. There's so many gaps. This is a weird.
Dude, there's so many gaps. That's the weirdest chart.
Right? I don't like it. It's like I feel like, so I'm waiting. I have no interest in nickel. Nickel below 17K, I think, is a sweet spot. That's what I'm.
Speaking of gaps, there's a gap on gold's chart all the way down at $4,627, which represents a fall of 13.3% from where we are right now. Just FYI.
That'd be painful in general. Overall.
Little tidbit for everybody.
Platinum,
and of course it's going to happen, dude. I mean, just look at everybody gold bull posting all over the place. Of course, it's the top.
So like there's platinum. Platinum I like too. Platinum more like just like this. That's what I like platinum. Very easy. Like just don't lose this line here. I think that's how platinum plays out. Palladium looks very similar. Palladium looks a little more toppy, and then like looking from the historical that's here too. I would expect probably something a little more like this. And then here, there's a very key level, which is right here, which is about right below 1900. It's probably a sweet spot, 1900, 1860. That's what we're looking for. Put an alert there, actually. And then uranium. Uranium is super bullish. Like it's just ripping. Look at this chart. Absolutely stupid.
Yeah, uranium's chart is nuts.
You can't. The only thing here you can look at is there's a bunch of ETFs that I like that maybe have some exposure to. I think XME does. This metals and mining ETF, I believe, has some exposure to uranium. And URA is probably the main one that is the go-to for uranium. But outside of that, it's tough. You're pretty selective, but they're all ripping. So you have to, if you're going to buy any of these, which is good, I would consider almost like it's top blasting. You have to be okay with there could be, and there likely will be a pullback, at which point you maybe should plan to add more. But it's just it's a tough spot. Like it's you really can't gauge what these things are, especially when they're in price discovery. Because
wait, is that a gap on S&P Metals and Mining ETF XME? Is that a gap at 106? Right here? Yeah. Dude, crazy. I'm gonna be really sad when we have like the New York Stock Exchange operating 24/7 because then you won't have gaps. I'm gonna miss them.
It's funny. I'm starting to appreciate the gaps now, even though I hadn't previously in the past. But yeah, I love them. Yeah, it kind of makes it a little easy.
They made me so much money trading GameStop, GME, when it was like just swinging like crazy. Be like, oh, there's a gap here, and I would just short, and then I'd long, and then I'd short, and then I'd long, and I was just like, this is fucking easy.
See, like this looks to me like that gap. Like this would be beautiful. Just very, very simple, right? Just really nice. Not that far back, but like just a simple up, down.
Yeah.
Right,
I have a question here from Earthy Hen Vibes. Also, great name. I love that. Earthy Hen Vibes goes, can you explain gaps? Yes. So gaps only exist because markets don't operate 24/7. You don't have gaps on cryptocurrency charts because they operate 24/7. You do have it on futures charts though, because futures charts operate at the same time as like the stock market does. So as the market comes to a close at like 5 o'clock at the end of the day or for a weekend, in crypto, price continues to move. So if the traditional market stops running, but Bitcoin or crypto goes higher, and then the futures market reopens, it has to reopen here. And that creates a gap where there's no space. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why it needs to happen. It doesn't. It's just that statistically on Bitcoin, it's happened 99% of the time whenever you have a gap on Bitcoin's chart. Price then goes down. Like future price in that instance would sell down into that gap. In the stock market, this happens because the market closes, but you have pre-market and post-market trading that happens before the market opens and after the market in like the first hour and the last hour. And that can also cause gaps to happen throughout the week. And so that is how and why you see gaps on the chart. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why it has to happen. It's just that statistically, there is an incredibly high likelihood. In the stock market, I think it's 86% or 84% of all gaps get filled. It's like, it's so statistically weighted that it is something you should take into account when looking at a chart. And that's that.
Just good targets.
I also got a question a few times from somebody specific about VeChain that said, hey, is VeChain a good coin to go hard in at like 0.008 cents? And I'm not going to talk about the price point. Hang on, I just got to let TikTok know I'm a real human boy and I'm not a robot.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. Oh. No, now they know.
Okay.
Now they know. Those videos I made were AI. This is AI.
We're not real.
Yeah, we're not real.
What is real anymore?
Here's the great thing about VeChain and the bad thing about VeChain. The great thing about VeChain is that they genuinely accomplish what they set out to accomplish every single time. They've first set out to say like, hey, we're going to have like actual businesses use our blockchain logistics solution. And they did. Walmart in China uses VeChain. It's pretty crazy. And then no one cared. And then they said, hey, we're going to become like the sustainability blockchain. And a lot of people use them. And a lot of people get paid rewards for proving that they and their business like operate and live their lives in like a sustainable, green, energy friendly way. And they get paid out real rewards to a pretty high amount. But no one in the cryptocurrency market cares about like sustainability trends. And that's why VeChain doesn't do well, because it's not trendy, right? It's not sexy. And that's the thing about VeChain. And that's the problem. I'm looking at it as an investor. Will turned into a crypto guru trader. Shake my head. He was great when he did updates and important info. I still do updates and important info. It's just that I'm shadow banned. I do updates and important info every single day. But Dippy Dev, TikTok shadow bans me because TikTok doesn't like the news updates or like daily update videos. I still post them every day. You can go over on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube Shorts. On Instagram, it's the Rise Up Morning Show. On YouTube, it's the Rise Up Morning Show. On Twitter, I'm CoinGuideWW. And you can get my updates and news updates there every single day. But like TikTok shadow bans me, and like it only shows them out to like 1,000 people of the like 78,000 who follow me. So it's kind of messed up.
Yo, Rob Steckerlish here. I have a certification in loss control and sustainability. I care so much. Hey, dude, one day you will be appreciated. Your skills and the
one day you will be appreciated.
Just hang in there. It'll be there.
Have we already looked over Bitcoin? We did already kind of look over Bitcoin. Things look rough.
Yeah, we're waiting. Like, as of right now, I don't think there's no reason to do anything until tomorrow. Do we have any events tomorrow? Are there any what's the next economic updates we have in general? I know.
That's a good question. I don't know if we have anything really.
Not that even matters. Seems like nothing matters anymore. So it's just
nothing matters. Nothing really matters to me.
Great song.
One of my favorite karaoke ones. I don't think we have anything set for tomorrow. I mean, the big thing was Jerome Powell speaking from the Fed. He's like, yeah, no cuts. I mean, they voted 10-2 no cuts. Pretty confident no vote, or vote on no cuts. How many times can I say no cuts? But if you guys have any suggestions at all for coins to take a look at, stocks, Precious metals.
Do you want? I got a bunch. You want to go through a bunch?
I mean, hey, if you want to pull them up while people put in some requests.
Yeah, so look at Bitcoin right here. I'll flip it around here. If we flip here. Boom, boom, boom.
So when we were in a bull market, you were always telling that accumulating is during bear market. Yes, now is the time to be accumulating. However, doesn't mean we can't go lower. You know, I mean, I buy a little bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana every single day. And when Bitcoin falls below $70,000, if it happens, I will double the size of that dollar cost average. And in the meantime, I'm just doing short-term trades. Just doing short-term trades with small positions and having a good time. And once I get a confirmed bottom for Bitcoin, I will start buying in a serious way, spot positions for coins that I like a little bit more Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, of course. But I really like Maple Finance, which is token is syrup. I like Uniswap. I kind of like Polygon, especially if they put in place that revenue buyback policy. If they put in the revenue buyback policy, I'm really interested in Polygon. I'm really interested in Hyperliquid. From a meme coin play, I'm still interested in Pengu. And I'm also interested in Sky Protocol. Like, I might not buy all of these, right? I'll keep it to like 5, 6, or 7 tops cryptos, probably 5. But I like Sky Protocol also because they have a really good revenue buyback policy. Also, where is the guru dolphin talking about a new coin that will go insane like you did with Morpho? JK, you know what? Maybe the bear vibes. Maybe everybody needs a few chuckles, and I should throw on the dolphin costume a little bit more. Might be what the people need.
Check this out. Finding squiggles. Finding squiggles. Look at that. This is Palantir. Palantir on, when was this? This was on December 22nd. I drew this. And that's
however, that's not today.
Yeah, no, this was the move. So I actually, this was.
Well, hey, if we're about to blow up Iran, Palantir will have a really nice rally, I'm sure.
ExxonMobil super bullish. Saw us the other day. Apple, I don't care about right now. Netflix is one. Netflix split has occurred. What? I don't care. When is that from? This is a while back. Netflix is actually attractive down here, 75 to 65 bucks. I think this is a nice little, eventually, but no rush, like something like this, right? Yeah. That's nice.
Boonchu has a question here, which is, what's the reason for today's crash? Honestly, to me, there's no rhyme or reason. Like, some people associate it to the government shutdown happening because the Democrats refused to fund a major budget bill that would keep the government open, and now we're just a couple days away from the government closing down. But the thing is like, government shutdowns really don't affect the market much. Like, historically, if we take a look at it, they really don't affect the market too much. But like, it is a big event, and I think it's just market manipulators grabbing the best events they could have and just using it as a smokescreen to manipulate the market to have it do what it wants to do. Because there have been plenty of times where you have a government shutdown and like the stock market did totally fine, crypto did totally fine, and it's just no, guys, we're all in a simulation. It's all a fugazi, and
I think partially from the Microsoft too. I think Microsoft's giving the first signals of an unwinding.
Oh, what happened with Microsoft?
Wait.
I saw this. They beat their earnings, they beat their revenue, and then the stock started falling. Like, they beat their revenue by like a sizable margin, yet the stock still started falling like crazy. And that to you is a sign that the market's just done across the board.
Yes. So I think their Azure growth is not at the expectations where they want. I think it's the first slowing quarter of Azure. It was I forget the intelligent cloud. I forget whatever the hell the platform's called. And also too, they kind of like low-key didn't really go into too far in Copilot. Like, yeah, we have 15 million users. It was some number that's like, that seems like it's low. They didn't really want to talk about it much. Although I do believe Copilot's being is more adopted in general, but that revenue is just not anywhere close where I think they want it to be. And I think this is the first selling sign on where there's going to be some contraction on the AI front. So, but anyway, though, with Microsoft, this is an area that would be semi-interested. There's a big gap right here between 412, 415, but I think that is the reason today is that this is what the market started selling off, in my opinion. That was the first news that popped out that I saw. That was like, of someone who's very heavily weighted, not myself, in tech trade or tech stocks. This is a signal to me that some folks should take some profits.
A few other questions here. One from Brandon is, Clarity Act is close to being passed. They're probably flushing longs. I think the Clarity Act passes and it really doesn't affect the crypto market that much in the short term. I really don't. But I do think in the long term, it'll obviously help to have like official regulatory clarity for some folks, and that'll make some folks feel good, and maybe some bigger fish start moving around. But the thing is anything that helps institutions get into crypto clearly has not been a good thing for the space. So I'm always a little nervous. And no, the Clarity Act will not get rid of this much manipulation. Just understand, guys, like stocks are manipulated, precious metals are manipulated, everything's manipulated. It's all manipulated. And nothing's gonna stop that.
MicroStrategy. This is my reason on why it's fun. The Strategy announces a legal name change from MicroStrategy to Strategy. That was it. That was the top.
Yeah. Dude, I just love this comment from Mr. Robot Steckler. Quit drawing things down, Doug.
Sorry.
You're making the market crash.
Yo, can you imagine? Like, I'm obviously a happy person in general all the time. Just wait until it's like things are like we're on the ready to go. You're gonna know that I'm gonna be I'll be drawing. Like I'll be drawing, pulling a bunch of these guys out, right? These guys, these like just glowing arrows. We're not there yet.
Candles. Yeah, we're not there yet. But those days will come back.
Yes.
In a second, we have a few requests here on YouTube I want to get to. We're a little behind there. So where is the bottom for Avalanche? We're not quite sure, but let's just do some quick charting on Avalanche and see what we got there. I know the chart doesn't look good. That's our Godzilla chart, the one that won the chart art competition. Godzilla blasting its breath down into the city of Tokyo and just destroying it.
Fantastic. I found a bunch of guys on Twitter that have been drawing like art like that for like years.
I love that.
It's great.
You gotta let me know what their ats are.
Yeah, I definitely. It was one day I went down a rabbit hole and I found a bunch of them I need to remember. So Avalanche still has lower. It's below $10. Like we're going below.
I mean, it's gonna go back to its lows. It looks like
we're gonna go down below $8. I mean, I think a good time to look to add AVAX is down here. Like, I don't know, $7.60 to like $5.
$4.
Yeah, something like that. Anywhere in here, that's a buy zone. But it's kind of sad. It's just what it is.
I just don't think Avalanche is a good bet. Because here's the thing, Avalanche has a lot of adoption for like large institutions, but the thing is it's the Cosmos problem, which is Cosmos had a lot of adoption for its solution, which is, hey, people chose Cosmos's SDK system to build their own blockchains, just like Avalanche with its subnets. A lot of people are going to Avalanche and using their subnet technology to build their own blockchains, but it doesn't require Avalanche tokens. Slight misnomer. It requires a small amount of Avalanche tokens in order for them to build their Avalanche, but it's something like 150 Avalanche, which right now is $1,500. Like that's not going to drive the price up of Avalanche, everybody. And so that's the issue. Avalanche can get a ton of adoption still and do really cool stuff, and the price of the token will go nowhere. That's the problem with Avalanche. Let's see. Going through YouTube questions here.
They never talk about Litecoin?
This is a fascinating one. And Magic put me on this not too long ago. And Doug, I pulled a U where I put a line, and I was like, if it gets above that, I should make a trade on it. And got above it, and I was not paying attention. And man, did it go up?
Wouldn't you love it, Will, if there was a bot that basically followed your squiggles and basically traded for you based on the correlation of strength of the squiggle relative to the price without you knowing? Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be pretty sweet.
That's what I also want to build, but that's project like 10, but not right now. So
are you looking at Litecoin?
Yeah, because some of the comments here said that we never look at Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin looks sad.
Well,
I'm sorry. It looks sad. It looks sad. Like it's going to go lower. Like below $60. I care about it right now. Just going lower. What was the one you're talking about? That Sky
Home
and Sky are the ones that my guy was calling out.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, but right now, but it looks
now it's topped.
Yeah, you can't buy this now. This thing's gonna.
No, you can't buy this now. You can short it though.
You can short this. There's a big all of this will wick here altogether.
Yeah, Home's going back down to at least 2.5 cents. Yep.
There you go. Even if it gets another move up, if you want to get real funky, I mean, set some asks between 0.32 to 0.33, even if you get it, and any big move up like this, like kind of like this, what this was over here, that's a really, really nice entry for a position. But this is
hey, I see requests for Pudgy Penguins, and let's see, I'll pull up my chart on that.
Hold on, real quick. Litecoin a 6-month chart. Sorry, this guy. What do you want me to look at? A Litecoin a 6-month chart? I don't know.
Looks just as bad.
I don't. I and by the way, I like Litecoin. Like, and I look at Litecoin Bitcoin chart. Like this looks. Ugh. Hey man, like I'm chart agnostic. Like I don't care what the ticker is. Like I'm just gonna say the chart looks good or it doesn't. This does not look fantastic right now. I will always. Litecoin's one of the ones that I'd always watch and would jump into Litecoin when it gets bullish. But as of right now, I can't justify even entertaining this until it's above $75 or below 50.
Sorry, didn't mean to talk
No,
over
yeah,
there.
you're good.
Great point here from Miltos over on TikTok. And I've been talking about this for almost a year now, I feel like, which is switching from US dollar backed stable coins to any other currency. Because the value of the dollar has lost 15% this year, which means if you're holding onto a dollar, it is 15% worth less. Euro backed, pound backed, or Swiss franc back are my preferred options. I do have stable coins in EURC, which is the European coin. I also have USDC still as well, just because it's easy in markets and there's large liquidity and stuff for trades. That, and also it's good to be diversified in your regular fiat, crypto as well. But yeah, your stable coins are far better to be in euros or pounds right now.
And last thing on Litecoin on that point, and Will, you're spot on there, is that I like to buy strength. And again, I don't care what chart this is. I can't justify buying Litecoin until it's back above $80 here. Unless you're following it down here. Like, so this could go down here and be there for a year. I just don't care until it gets up here. Because if once it gets back up here, then you're targeting these highs and you're trying to get up here. So I don't care about buying it at $60 versus $80. I'd rather wait for $80, in my opinion. So, but there's no rush. Yeah. It's clearly going down. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. All you will.
Question from Nita. Also, how do we get the euros? You can get EURC or the Great British Pound version. I forget the name of it, on any DeFi environment. So just make sure that when you swap into a stable coin, you can do that in your base app. You can do it in your Phantom wallet. You can do it in, whatever, any wallet. Just make sure that you swap into the Euro coin, the EURC, or the Great British Pound. Again, I forget the name of it, but just go on CoinMarketCap, Google quickly, like, what's the stablecoin version of this? Use your ChatGPT, go on CoinMarketCap, all that kind of stuff. Just make sure you're getting the right thing. Let's see. Pengu was the request. And let's see. My chart is ugly. Let's clean this up. Clean this up. Yeah, Pengu wants to fall into this channel here because this channel is between 0.008 and 0.004 cents, essentially. And even if I just clear this up, it kind of goes back to our Solana chart. Oh, hey, look at this. I had drawn this line here. It said, hey, if we fall below this short. And
levels, know your levels. That's it.
You gotta know your levels. And right now we've hit a quintuple bottom here at 0.009 cents. And as soon as that breaks, you see Pengu in free fall again. And just like with Solana's chart, like, let me zoom out here a little bit just so people can see, like, you have this empty space where there's no price action. And if your asset hasn't, just like shot upwards, like really, really far away from that empty space, then you're probably going to go back and revisit it. It's just kind of what happens. I know it's not like super in-depth kind of technical analysis, but that's just kind of how markets react, particularly meme coins. And so, that box is an additional 11% to, 54% down. Like, you could see Pengu hit a double bottom again. It could also be caught sooner at 0.005. That's still 40% down. It could be caught sooner at 0.006. So pretty much like every single even tenth of a penny, you have some support here. 0.007 again, but this is a very dangerous area for Pengu, and you could see like a very, very, very deep fall and continuation here. And it's not because there aren't continuing to be great things going on for the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem. They're making a ton of money and stuff. It's just that this is a meme coin, and it's what meme coins do. That's just that.
Metals are looking heavy at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Oh, dude, metals are crashing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And also, too, the dollar looks like kind of wants to bottom. The 10-year yield is a little bullish, which is something I'm also watching. I've been trying to see where that's going to play out. Yeah, I think tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day. You know,
Damn, I thought I had more time to add more to my gold short. Actually, I think I'm going to open up a gold short.
it's moving.
Hang on, let's go do this live. Pax G, let's go short. Full position. Going short. Okay, short on gold. Order submitted.
I just replied to my friend Brendan here through the YouTube, and he's on the TikTok. I mean the Twitter.
You know what? Live trading with you, Doug, is fun. Trading with a friend is great.
Trading buddy.
Trading buddy. Let's see what we can turn these $8,700 into, or 8,300, whatever they were. 8,300. Let's see. Do you have the gold chart up? Let me pull up the gold chart and just kind of show people what we're looking at now that my trade's live.
I gotta jump here a little bit shortly.
Okay. Yeah, I should get out of here soon too. But yeah, so this is how you know gold's gonna have like a pretty steep reversal, right? So we've had this crazy run up here for gold, like absolutely batshit crazy. And then you have what's called a doji candle right here, when you have a long wick on top and a long wick on bottom, and it's a sign of indecision. And when you have that at the top of a very large bull run, it almost always signifies a correction. And now we're getting that correction. You'll also notice that my candles here are empty. I'm currently using another indicator called the imbalance indicator that shows you, they're kind of like gaps, but basically, oh no, what's the exact explanation of this? It's still fairly new for me. But just know that it kind of operates like gaps, and it gives you a little bit of a sense as to where things can go for gold. But even if I remove that, like this right here, like you have a gap on gold's chart all the way down at $4,600. And if we pull up our indicators, just look at how overbought, like look how bright that RSI is. Look at how bright that RSI is. And the stochastic RSI is also starting to come down. You should see gold sell off for at least a handful of days here. And I'll keep my short position open on gold and hopefully have a good time. This guy is always wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong, but I've been hitting pretty hard over the past number of months.
I love being wrong.
And I'll be wrong again. God damn it.
Being wrong makes me think harder and like reflect on what was I not looking at? Not that, again, you're not gonna get right all the time, but
yeah,
that's
it. Sure, bud. For form. Well, if there aren't any other requests, let's see. Oh, Magic, that is a great point. Did we do ETH? We did not do ETH.
Yeah, whatever. Sorry.
ETH is what for me. I see support for Ethereum between $2,300 to $2,600. But for me, I think you have Ethereum definitely go there. Can ETH see $1,000 again? I mean, sure, anything's possible, but I think you have a bounce opportunity right around that area. Well, everybody, it is about that time. Doug, you have any final thoughts, words of wisdom, jokes?
I'm not a jokes guy. I can't. They just come off usually cringe, so I'm just gonna leave them. Just whatever ones I know, they're aside. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to tap in these lows from November. That's what I'm waiting for. Metals look heavy. Tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day. If you're not in a trade, go to sleep tonight not being in a trade. Get a good night's sleep. It feels really good. Like I don't have any trades open right now. It feels fantastic going to sleep without trades. So get into that habit if you can, especially in a bear market if you're trading crypto. So
yeah, having a trade open at night, it always kind of sucks. And I just opened up a short on gold, and now I'm like, fuck, I want to go to bed.
See, but, yeah, but I put my comment was more from the crypto standpoint because it's the gold one's different. So I think that's a bigger play. So it's fine.
Yeah. I think I have a handful of days open in that trade.
Yes.
Last things for me to say is, if you're trading in this market, I think trading with small positions is what you should be doing. I think you should be trading short term, and you know what my target for Bitcoin is, which is low, about like $63,000. But if I see bullishness show up on the chart, I will be the first person to turn around and say, hey, we might have something here, and then wait for confirmation. If that confirmation comes, hey, boom, I'm on the bull train. And I'd love to be on it because bull markets, you always make the most amount of money. But without that, guys, hope you all have a great rest of your night. Hope you do good things. Hope you always be good people. And I hope you make a bunch of money. Have a good night, everybody.